Hello, hello. For the first month, and then
I see. Yeah. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, there's a drop off.
We light the candles. We say the bracha. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you everyone for coming. We have a very good celebration this evening. All kinds of different aspects happening. We have a confirmation and graduation students, inviting them all of for the synagogue, being here for community, leading junior congregation, being madrichim, which means overseeing our younger students and teaching them Hebrew, being a voice for our Jewish values, for our love of Israel, for our identity as a people to the greater community. We're so proud of them. So for the confirmation students, what does it mean to be confirmed? It means that your B'nai Mitzvah isn't the end of the journey, but the beginning of the journey. And they're here in our synagogue living their Jewish identity. And for graduate students, we're giving them our blessings and honoring them as they're preparing to go on to the next phase of their lives and honoring their perseverance and commitment to our synagogue. Tonight we're also appreciating our teachers, our students with their love and care and a lot of Jewish education through these difficult years, COVID and October 7th, everything that's been happening. To David Schwartz, our principal, for his creativity in creating a compassionate community where everybody feels welcome and cherished. And this weekend is also a bar mitzvah of Eli Wister. And so we wish Eli Wister also Mazel Tov, and Mazel Tov to his parents, to Lisa and Terry and his sister Talia, and to their families. So we have a lot to celebrate. So if it's your first time in musical Shabbat, please join us singing. We do some dancing, and all the more so for all of our celebrations this evening. So let's have our confirmation students and graduation students and our teachers stand up so we can recognize them at the beginning of our service. Okay. Our Kabbalat Shabbat service will begin with our journey through the Psalms. We begin on page 11.
Psalm 95. Lechu neranena l'Adonai, nariya letzor yisheinu, negadmanav b'torah, is lirod nariya. 40 שנה הכל בדור ואומר עם טועה ואין לא יד דרכי אשר נשבעתי ויפיל אם יבון אל מנוחתי.
Turn to page 13. Shiul Adonai, sing to Adonai a new song. Sing to Adonai all the earth. Shabbat is about finding that new song. Please join us.
not sure. You're a lot of voice. Not sure. Yeah.
ישפוט אבל בצדק, ירים באמונתו.
Turn to page 21, Psalm of David, Psalm 29, about the voice of God resounding, shaking mountains, but also bringing us the peace of Shabbat. Please rise, we're on page 21. Transliterated in the red print at the bottom, page 21. seated. We turn to Lecha Dodi, page 23. This is the central piyut, religious poem of our Kabbalat Shabbat service. To greet Shabbat, let's go, let's be gone, for she is the wellspring of blessing from the start, from ancient times. She was chosen, last made, but first planned. Lecha Dodi, page 23.
Go to the last stanza of the Chatti at the bottom of page 25. We rise, we face the entrance to greet the bride. Shabbat.
Shalom Simcha u'zola, Tov emunei am segula, Borich ala, borich ala. Lecha Dodi licha kala, b'nei Shabbat ekala. Lecha Dodi licha Please be seated. We turn to the Psalm for Shabbat, page 27. The song of the day of Shabbat. Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach used to say, when singing this, the whole world is waiting to sing the Shabbat, the song of Shabbos, and I'm also waiting to sing the song of Shabbos. We're all bringing in Shabbat together, bringing peace, rest to our world. It is good to thank you, Adonai. Tov lehodot. Second line of page 27. Tov lehodol Adonai, tov lehodol Adonai, ulezamer eshim ha'elyon. Tov lehodol Adonai, tov lehodol Adonai, ulezamer eshim ha'elyon. Hagim aboker boker hazecha, emonacha ba'aleilot. Please join me. La 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 As we conclude our Kabbalat Shabbat service, there are two parts of the evening service, Kabbalat Shabbat and Mariv. And before we start Mariv, we're going to hear from our wonderful confirmation students tonight. And so we'll hear them in this order: Ella Melman, and then Sasha Jonel Tigaralnik, and then Eric Baker. And we are missing Alex Liederman tonight, who could not be here. And so, as we're thinking, we're celebrating tonight. I asked them what it meant to be, what it's been like to be a Jewish leader in these times, but also it's been a hard 6 months, 7 months for all of us. And so I asked them if they wanted to address October 7th and how it's changed these months and their Jewish experience and their Jewish community, that they could do so. We will begin. Ella, and then Sasha, and then Eric.
Good evening and Shabbat Shalom. I'm Ella Melman, and I'm a current 10th grader at OPRF. I've been involved at West Suburban Har Zion since a toddler back in Littlest Learners, followed by preschool here and then weekly religious school. Judaism has always been a heavy aspect of my life, whether religiously, culturally, or simply socially. But even in the past 14 years, expressing my Judaism in public has become more consequential and controversial than it should be. In wake of the last months, since October 7th, social media and school have been increasingly harder to navigate. I felt like I was stepping on eggshells to avoid being launched into arguments, all the while getting more and more upset while seeing my peers post single-faceted concerns. It brings tension to Jewish communities, but also calls for the appreciation of the Jewish community as an outlet which doesn't question for your beliefs. This past spring, I was elected Midwest Regional President of Young Judea, an organization I've been a part of for 7 years now. Learning how to navigate this new political and societal landscape has been essential in my ability to think critically and facilitate discussions on these current events. Whenever I asked a question about Judaism, my dad has always told me that questions are an essential part of being Jewish. It is a primary belief and you won't find any other religion that debates and proposes more questions than the Jews. Some of my favorite questions came from not only my friends my age and in youth group, but also from elementary and middle school students, attendees in junior congregation and at religious school. The best consequence of holding these heavy and impactful discussions is learning that listening is not just an action to be followed up with by an answer, it is its own process in itself. To really hear and understand what someone has to say. From when I was a toddler learning to form full sentences to this very moment in Hebrew High, this is what has taken the longest for me to settle in. And if you know me at all, you know that I love to talk and have a tendency to go on a bit of a ramble. But to know I am setting an example of how to conduct yourselves when discussing something that can be hard to bear, teaching how to foster a safe space for open conversation is vital and the #1 necessity for any learning experience. Thank you, and remember, there really are no stupid questions.
Thank you so much, Ella. Sasha.
Good evening. Good Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
As I sat at the lunch table, I talked with my friends about classes and our plans for the weekend. We lamented about this annoying classmate and that frustrating teacher. It was a normal high school experience that we have all had. I came home from school and enjoyed a normal Shabbos dinner with my family. That was Friday. When I woke up Saturday, the world had changed. October 7th was a shock to us all, and it rocked me to my core. Nothing really made sense for a while, especially today, in our modern world. It was so shocking that there are people out there who continue to hate us just because we are Jews. The world we live in is supposed to be more tolerant and aware of people who are different from we are. That line, the barrier separating us versus them, is supposed to be thinning, not getting redrawn. Our summer trip last year, we biked through Munich and saw historic places, Nazi headquarters, and balconies from which Hitler spoke, reminders of what our people went through. My papa has told us that when he was a young boy in Detroit, he didn't need to play a sport because he ran, not the 400-meter relay like I do, but he ran home because he was afraid of being targeted as a Jew. This was in our country, the one my great-grandparents came to after escaping pogroms. Even before the war, I dealt with hate targeted at me and other Jewish people. And now in 2024, as I walk through my own high school and watch what is happening on college campuses, I feel like it's getting to the point where people just want to chase me too. What I do know is that keeping our community close is so important. My group of young Jewish friends, that is my safe place and strength. For the past 6 months, I have been active at the high school, speaking with and sometimes even educating the administration about our history and what anti-Semitism is. I was asked to serve on the Oak Park River Forest Student Equity Program and the Belonging Council, which attempts to bond students of different backgrounds and create a mutual understanding for the best path forward. At Hebrew School, we had speakers give us historical insight into our ancestral history and the land of Israel. With this knowledge, I try to educate my friends about our perspective, which is often overlooked on social media and Instagram, which is where they all get their information. I even brought a group of kids together to play a klezmer band for a school orchestra performance. Sharing our music is one very personal way to share my joy of Judaism. I know a story about Rabbi Hananiah, who was bound in Torah scrolls and burned at the stake for teaching the Torah. When a student asked him what he saw, he said, "I see the scrolls burning, but the letters I see flying heavenward, they remain." And here we are at our Hebrew school graduation and confirmation. We are the ones who are committed to being a part of a Jewish community. We are like the letters of the Torah in this story, rising up despite the fire around us. And good Shabbos.
Eric.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Eric Baker. I'm fairly new to West Suburban Temple Har Zion. I came in 6th grade. To me, being a Jewish leader in the 21st century carries the weight of a rich history and the responsibility to navigate an ever rapidly changing world. It means embodying the values of compassion, justice, and resilience that have sustained our Jewish people through centuries of persecution from our countless adversaries. It's many things to remain done, accomplishing challenge that must be met. Being a Jewish leader today means one must embrace the differences within the community to be accepting and understanding amongst the different religions that we live upon, our cultural backgrounds, and perspective views. One must also engage with the broader society, advocating for justice, human rights, and equality for all while remaining steadfast to our Jewish traditions and identity. From Henry Kissinger, who helped bring an end to this 1973 Yom Kippur War, to Prime Minister Begin, who signed the peace deal with Egypt in 1978, it yearned in the depths of their souls to help bring people and nations together in a lasting place. Today, our world marked by complex and ever-changing geopolitical challenges, ongoing struggles against anti-Semitism, a Jewish leader must be a beacon of hope. And a relentless leader have relentless empathy and relentless dedication to Tikkun Olam, the imperative to repair the world. They must inspire future generations to embrace their heritage within pride and to uphold values that define the Jewish identity in an ever-evolving global landscape. To being a Jewish leader in the 21st century is not one that is a position of authority. It's a position of sacred entrust, a calling to lead with integrity, humility, and a profound sense of duty to both the Jewish people and people as a whole. We simply cannot take these things for granted. Thank you.
Go on. So talked about the confirmation students, superstars, a few weeks ago, and we just see how they each embody such a passion for Judaism and for identity, culture. Just hearing their 3 different speeches, each one so different, but each one bringing so much heart and poise and really wisdom and courage. And these are such difficult times, but when you hear our young people talking this way, it gives you hope. It gives you hope. So I guess we can say you're all officially confirmed. And we know and we're lucky that you're going to be enriching our lives at Har Zion for the next few years yet, and teaching our younger students and being part of this community. And we're just very fortunate to have you as leaders. And so Yasher Koach for everything you do and for your beautiful speeches tonight. Yasher Koach. So we're now going to turn to our Mariv service. Please rise, our Baruch Hu, our call to worship, page 39A.
Baruch Hu et
seated. We have a responsive reading on the far left column of page 39A in English. Beloved are you, eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up, and eons pass away, and stars spin in their orbits. In rising sun and in spreading dusk, creator of all, you are made manifest. Beloved are you, Adonai, for this hour of nightfall.
ומעביר יום מביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שלו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, אמרי ורבי.
Page 40.
Join in on the last 5 lines, for they are our life in the fullness of our days, and on them we shall meditate day and night. Ki en hayenu, liorech yameinu, u'lehem neged yomam v'layla. Ki en hayenu, liorech yameinu, u'lehem neged yomam v'layla. Impress these words of mine upon your heart and upon your soul. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Teach them to your children by speaking of them. When you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Please join me for a responsive reading, page 43b in English. We proclaim the covenant on the seventh day. We love this day, we inherited delighting in its remembrance. From the time you bestowed a joy filled the hearts of Yeshua, the people you redeemed. You exalted Shabbat as a sign between us forever. In 6 days your world was formed, on the seventh day you rested.
This day is your
To honor your name, we sing songs of praise to the one deserving of praise.
And the song we sing now is Mi Chamocha, who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty. Page 44, 4 lines down. Ayibai bai bim bim bam, yarabai bai bim bam. Ayibai bai bim bim bam, yarabai bai bim bam. Mi chamocha vayim Adonai, mi chamocha merava kodesh. Norati lo tosefele, norati lo tosefele, ma'alechutecha ra'uvanecha, rokea yam lifnei Moshe, ze'izeli anu ve'amru, Adonai imlok le'olam va'ed. ונאמר יפתח אדוני יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 45, Hashkivenu, prayer of protection.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, Ve'amidenu Malkeinu Elohim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, Ve'amidenu ובראש עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
We pause, please be seated. Before we continue our service, after our Hashkivenu, we are going to hear from our graduates, Josh Oxer and then Hannah Melman, and Josh Harder, who couldn't be here tonight because of prom wins. So let's hear first from Josh and then Hannah. And ask them to reflect on their years, older years of being leaders in our community.
Shabbat Shalom. Temple Har Zion has been a very big part of my life for as long as I can remember. I started here in Littlest Learners, and somehow I made it all the way to my religious school graduation. Being a part of a smaller, tight-knit congregation, I've been able to see how important it is for everyone to contribute towards the larger community. Growing up, I was very involved in junior congregation, not just because I was able to spend time with my friends and family and have a good kiddish lunch, but I knew how important it was to prepare for my bar mitzvah, and it also taught me how to become a leader. For the past 4 years, I've been helping Sunday school students practice reading Hebrew, and until I started writing the speech, I hadn't really thought about how helping these younger children was an act of passing on knowledge, the door vador. I've also come to realize all the different communities that I can play a part in. Not just small ones in my congregation, but larger ones in my high school and beyond. Since October 7th, many of my classmates have experienced anti-Semitism at school, and although I've faced little myself, I made sure to join them in speaking to the administration about our concerns. Going forward, I plan to be an active member of the Jewish community at the University of Illinois, whether at Hillel or Chabad or both. And while there, I'll be majoring in environmental science. And when thinking about it, what drew me to it was not only that I love spending time outdoors, but it tied together many of my interests. It takes problem solving and science and collaboration, and I'm hoping to make a difference in the world. And that's what Judaism teaches, Tikkun Olam. Being involved with Har Zion, whether it's coming here for preschool, going to Hebrew school every Sunday and Wednesday, being a participant in Saturday morning services, as well as leading junior congregation and high holiday services, has all created a foundation of how it feels to be a part of a Jewish community. And I will be forever grateful for my time here. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom.
And Hannah.
Shabbat Shalom. Hebrew school isn't just a place to learn a language, it is where I discovered community and tradition. West Suburban has been a second home to me for the past 18 years of my life. Here are just a few traditions and memories I will always treasure. It started in preschool when I had to make a poster for when I was the Shabbat star. I made quite a few of those and still have them in my closet. Having to present in front of people was not my thing, and look at me now, still not my thing. Later on, bringing home the Shabbat bear and learning more about Shabbat with my family was a great experience. Over the years, I'm grateful for all the different teachers I've had here. I learned the Hebrew alphabet with Miss Julia. I learned how to read and write in Hebrew in cursive with Miss Crook. Miss Crook also imparted another great tradition and memory, licking the honey out of the book when I finished it. At one point, I knew over 250 words in Hebrew in Miss Eileen's class. Continued to learn conversational Hebrew in Chedva's and Charles's class. I learned Jewish history and Torah in Mr. Stopek's class. For the past 5 years, I've been a madrich here. I'm glad that I've been able to pass my knowledge down to teach my second and third graders here every Sunday, and also in junior congregation. I love being able to see them grow and turn into amazing readers, and as well as dancers during the Eleno. I'll be taking my knowledge of what I learned from preschool to now, from learning the language, the prayers in junior congregation, and the skills I learned from my bar mitzvah, to college. I'm thrilled to see where college takes me and all the new traditions and friends to come. In a couple of months, I'll be attending The Ohio State University. I plan on regularly attending the Chabad and Hillel there on campus. I know that I will have a safe community there like I do here, especially with everything going on in the world. I want to thank all my teachers and Mr. Schwartz for providing a welcoming and learning environment, my parents for making sure I attend every week, all the friends I've made in this community, and lastly, my only classmate here tonight, Josh. Thank you for sticking out with me. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you both so much for your inspiring talks. And so I was thinking about the two of you and graduating, that impressive 17, 18-year-olds, really so responsible and mature. And you both talk about being madrichim. And we've been watching you for years, teaching the younger children. And it's amazing how much care you put into doing it, how seriously you take it. And I've seen so many of the little ones look up at both of you and see you as their role models. And you're both such positive role models in every way, as everybody who knows you is aware. I know you've been through a lot. COVID in high school, and then October 7th. Those are not easy high school years, but had to show a lot of resilience and strength. We pray that it's all going to change by the time you start college, that the situation will shift. And we send you prayers of protection. and that it will be different when you go there. But whatever it is, we know that you have what it takes to enjoy your experience. And so don't forget us, and thank you for all your contributions. And as we say every year, when you go to college, don't forget when you do your first load of laundry, not to put your colors and your whites at high temperature together. Remember this Jewish community, or remember all your Jewish communities. So go in peace, come back in peace. Shabbat Shalom, Yasher Koach. So please rise. We're going to turn to Vishamru. The people of Israel shall observe Shabbat, maintaining as an everlasting covenant throughout all generations.
יתגדל ויתקדש מרבו, עלמה דברה כרותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה, ובזמן גאירים יש מרבה מברך, לעלם לעלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי בקודשה בריחו לילה, מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחה למחנתה, דמירן בעלמא, אמרו אמן.
Our silent Amidah for Friday night begins on page 47, and we continue silently following the words or in silent meditation through to page 52, 47 to 52. We come out of our Amidah with the words to a psalm. You can follow along there on page 204 if you'd like, about the building of a house for the temple, for the sake of God's temple, a house for all of humanity, because what we really would like to do in these difficult times is to build a new house for all of humanity, a new vision. As the psalm says, for all the brothers and the sisters, to build a house of our common humanity, a vision of peace that begins in our own lives. Imana chai v'rei.
Because of my brothers and friends, because of my sisters and friends, please let me ask, please let me say, please to you. This is the house of the Lord. I wish the best for you. This is the house of the Lord. I wish the best for you. La 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 Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael 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 Chai. Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael 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 Chai. Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael 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 Chai. Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu Chai, Ol Avinu Chai. Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu, Ol Avinu Chai. Oh yeah.
Am Yisrael Chai. Please rise for Kiddush, page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'masei v'reishit Ihu yom techila le'mikrae kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu macharta Beotanu kidashta Mikol ha'amim V'shabbat kodshecha V'yav v'ratzon Inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat
Please be seated. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. As many of you know, I was born in Israel and lived there until I was 7 years old. And my parents moved to Israel from New York, and before that from Canada. But my father speaks of being 15 years old and going to Israel for the first time, and getting off the plane, and suddenly hearing the luggage handler speaking Hebrew. And somehow he knew he was home. And he had gone to day school, and everything he learned, he said, had been an abstraction in Canada, but in Israel, suddenly it was a part of reality. The luggage handlers were speaking the language of the Torah. And here in front of him was this living embodiment of everything he'd been brought up with: the culture, the language, Judaism in the public square, and thousands of years of Jewish identity coming alive in this one place. And so Israel is not just a symbol, but as a 100-year-old people in religion, we have a purpose and a mission, and there is a specific location where that takes place in a certain kind of way, just like this location right here. Also a holy place. And so on one hand, it can't take place everywhere, because as we are here living wonderful Jewish lives and thriving communities, even as the last year has been difficult. On the other hand, there is a specific location. And on Passover, we weren't just free to leave Egypt and go wander in the desert, but we were free to leave Egypt and go to the Promised Land, the land flowing with milk and honey. And so many of the customs of our people and the traditions of our people are connected to that land. And even in our Parsha, which has no specific link to Israel, even the laws there of following, of being careful not to follow the customs of the cults that surrounded them. Well, which country are they talking about? The country surrounding the land of Israel. And it's not just back then in the Torah, and the laws to do with Israel are all over almost every part of the Torah. But even in our day, there are parts of our Jewish life that are so much easier to express when we're in Israel. For example, if you were to be in Israel during Pesach, you can walk in almost any neighborhood, and they have huge boiling pots of water. You can just put your dishes in there, the kasher ben, for Pesach. And when the Hanukkah comes, the schools shut because they follow the Jewish calendar. And a friend of mine, when she moved to Israel for the first time, and she said, when did she really realize she was in a Jewish country? When she turned on the radio just before Pesach, and she heard about 10 different ads for different kinds of matzah. And so there is a country where it all comes together for us, Jewish life in this specific kind of way. I thought about this too during Passover, when I somehow was able to buy barakas from Israel that were kosher for Passover, which the whole ingenuity of the startup nation to making Pesach food taste like regular food. But when I talk to non-Jews about Israel, I say this is not just an ancestral connection, and it is the land of the Bible, but it's not because of the Bible that we feel a sense of connection to the land, because the Bible reflects the connection to the land. And in Israel, every hill, every valley, every lake has a story attached to it, and it makes it precious and sacred to us. This is where Jacob had his dream. This is where Abraham and Sarah lived. This is where Elijah was on the mountain. And so when Jews returned to the land of Israel, even the most secular of them, the pioneers, had a Tanakh, a Bible in their hands, and walked around the land, because it was the land of thousands of years of story. And thus again, we can live our Judaism anywhere, and we do proudly, but the land of Israel always has that special sense of mission and purpose for us as Jews. And so I wanted to say to our confirmation and graduation students this evening, some of you are going to visit Israel often, and some of you will rarely visit Israel, and it won't be, the center point. Their birthright trips are pretty awesome. But I am grateful to all of you over the past few months, in whatever way you each did, have expressed your connection to the land of Israel, and explored how it's part of the conversation and wherever your beliefs are at. And so my prayer for all of you is that in the years ahead, your connection to Israel isn't just defending Israel, but it's also finding joy and belonging and a sense of pride in a place where everything you learn about here, the stories, language, identity, all comes to life in a way that can't anywhere else. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We're going to turn to Aleinu. We're on page 56. Please rise.
Hallelujah. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצא לארץ ומשל מקרוב השמיים ממערב ושכינה זו בכל אלוהים הוא אלוהינו מלכנו ובזולתו קראנו בתורתו וידעת היום שתוכל למלך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו
Please be seated. To complete our appreciation this evening, celebrate and grateful, we also have our teachers who have been educating our students in one of the most difficult periods of our Jewish community has faced in a very long time. And despite all of it, our school is full of warmth and joy and interesting programs and education and culture and religion and warmth, and that's due to our teachers. I'd like to ask our teachers to please rise. The teachers, Julia Sachs and Andy Kirster and Helene Rappaport and Jenna Balnick and Charles Shapira, who's standing, but he's up there, I believe, and Mark Stopek and Jenna Balnick, said that, and I'd like to thank all of them and our principal, David Schwartz.
David.
We bring together all of our Mazel Tovs, and finally, as there's so much happening this weekend, but also we are going into the bar mitzvah of Eli Wister. And so we wish Eli also Mazel Tov, and we look forward tomorrow to be celebrating the big day. Mazel Tov. So now, our principal David Schwartz is going to say a few words and hand out some books to our students.
All right. So, Mazel Tov to our confirmands and graduates. You guys spoke beautifully tonight, and it's clear that you put a lot of work into that and a lot of thought. So, thank you for all of your thinking for tonight and for your many years of contributing to our Hebrew school. It is noted and appreciated. And thank you, parents, as well, because we recognize that these kids did not drive themselves here, at least for many years. And so, without your support, we couldn't do what we do, and the kids couldn't have gotten to where they are today. Thank you. Thank you, teachers. It would be very hard for me to run a Hebrew school by myself without all of you, so what you do is appreciated. And I am glad that we have a strong team working together to bring out the best in our students. We have some certificates and books, so when I call so if confirmands and graduates, you'll come up here, I will give them to you. Just come on up now. This will be faster. So, graduates first, Hannah. We have a Tanakh and Clash, a Tanakh and a certificate. Then Ella, Sasha, and Eric, you are getting a book of thoughts about the Parsha for people your age, so that hopefully you'll find meaning in it, not just what people a long time ago have said, but thoughts that might be relevant to you today. So thank you very much. You can have a seat.
Singen tov, mazel tov, yelanu. 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 Yelanu, yelechol, ulechol Yisrael. Yelanu, ulechol Yisrael.
All right, and then a few logistical announcements before I turn back over to the rabbi. If you are with the confirmation graduation class or otherwise signed up for dinner, after the service is over, please proceed that way so that we can keep things moving, find a seat, start pouring grape juice so we can keep doing blessings. If you are not coming for the dinner, then you can go that way for grape juice and challah as well. And finally, whether you're becoming a bar mitzvah, a confirmand, or a graduate tonight and the Shabbos, this is merely one stop on your Jewish journey of learning. It is a lifelong journey. And so therefore, I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday for more learning. Shabbat Shalom.
Please rise. If you're observing a yard site or a mourning, I'm going to read out the yard site names for this week. Roberta Jean Bakal, Ethel Blackman, Morris Bloom, Robert Blum, Sally Boxer, Yonatan Yoni, Yoav Braden, Manuel DeVries, Miriam DeVries, Molly Elman, Frida Epstein, George Federman, Bertha Goldenfiler, Simon Guan, Oscar Herkis, Irving Hirsch, Ida Tismaki, Nathan Piskalka, Charles Kahn, Dora Klein, Harold Colvin, Harry Levin, Morris Lilienthal, Bernard Michaels, Edward O'Hara, Morton Samuel Packer, Sidney Plofsky, Sarah Rosen, Julia Savage, Rose Schiff, Irish Ray, Robert I. Shub, Joshua Shapiro, Abraham Spiegel, Sam Steinberg, Rose Sopek, Richie Vanderhoek, Louis Vanderhoek, Bernard Wander, Errol David, George M. Zussman, Amato. If you're observing a yard sale or mourning, please join me in the words of the Kaddish. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei Rabba, ve'alma divra kirutei v'yomlich machutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei lechol Beit Yisrael, בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עלמי המיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו ואילם מכל ברכתה ושירתה קדוש ברכתה ונחמתה ואמירם ואמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שבוענו רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו והכל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו והכל ישראל ואמרו amen. So I'd like to thank our davening team for leading our service tonight. Cantor Figa, Jonathan Miller, Aaron Bernstein, Owen Franco, David Ormaner, Adib Bilek. And a few very short announcements. Tomorrow we have the bar mitzvah of Eli Lister, as mentioned. On Sunday we have Yom HaShoah in the evening, the program, Mama Lashon, the music, Yiddish music and readings and poetry, followed by a storyteller. And then another event the next day, we're showing the premiere of a new series on Netflix, The Tattooist of Auschwitz. That we'll be showing here. So please come for either of those programs. That's Monday night is the premiere. We have a program Sunday night and Monday night. Please see our website for more information. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Please join the davening team on page 62 with our closing song, Yigdal, done in a Sephardic folk song setting. Yigdal Elohimai Ve'yigdava Nimtza V'yeder V'tziuto Echad Yachid Yehudo Ne'elam V'gam Ensof Ve'achuto Eno Lemutago Ve'eno Lo Na'arok Elav Kedushato Kadmon Mechudamah Asher Mikra Rishon V'Neshit Ve'ehuto Inno Adon Olam V'chol Notzar Yorei Gedulato U'malchuto Shefa Nevuato Netan Oel Anshe Segulato V'tifarto Lo Kad Yisrael K'moshehu Navi U'Navi Etenunato Torah Temenadam Li'amoel Aliyah Neviot Emaneto Lo Yad Alifarel Velo Yamirato Le'olanim Lezurato Tover Yodea Tinareinu Navi Lezodavar Ve'kamato Gomer Ve'ishesed Yemiralo Noten Ve'nashashan Kerishano Yishlach V'tamim Le'shirneinu Livdon Ve'kakedesh Yeshuato Meitin Yechayel V'rov Razdo Baruch Adiyah V'kehilato Meitin Yechayel V'rov Razdo Baruch Adiyah V'kehilato.
Please rise for our concluding bracha. Kadosh Baruch Hu, Holy One, blessed be He. Bless our confirmation and graduation students, our teachers, our bar mitzvah Eli Wister, all of us, to be part of building a temple of peace for our people, for Israel, for the whole world. And let us say, Amen.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Adonai bless and protect you.
יאיר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
Adonai shine his countenance upon you and be gracious to you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
Adonai turn his countenance towards you and grant you peace. Shabbat Shalom.
That's a service. Let's go on. Did somebody say encore? Sorry, we're done.